Welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna break down everything we know so far about the new game My Winter Car from Amistec Games. This winter version of My Summer Car has been hyped for years and it looks like the release is finally getting close, so I pulled together all the info you need. First thing, be careful online because there are already fake sites and scams claiming you can download My Winter Car early, and trust me, don't click on those links. If I miss anything, drop it in the comments so everyone else can stay updated, and if I did miss something, my bad, I really tried to get all the details right. Quick heads up, this video might spoil parts of the My Summer Car story, so keep that in mind. My Winter Car is set in January 1999, which is for years after the events of My Summer Car. One big change is that the classic Satsuma amp won't be there anymore. Instead, you'll start out with a new ride called the Sorbet, which is based on the Talbot 1510. This will be your daily driver from the very start of the game. The Sorbet is basically a simple 80s front-wheel drive European 5-door hatchback, nothing fancy but solid for everyday use. It's got a gas engine, a trunk with decent space, and rear seats you can fold down for extra room. You'll be able to handle small stuff like oil changes or coolant refills, but don't expect big repairs on this car. There's also a chance in My Summer Car you could sell the Satsuma to get the Sorbet, though that hasn't been fully confirmed. Since the game is set in winter, the Sorbet comes with features like cold starts, a heater unit for freezing weather, rear window heating, and yeah, the battery can actually die from the cold, so you'll have to watch out for that. When it comes to work, things are gonna look pretty different in My Winter Car. We're most likely gonna have full-time jobs this time around. The dev, Topless Gun, already said we won't have the same kind of freedom we had back in My Summer Car. That actually makes sense. Since the story in My Summer Car ended with us finding out we're gonna be a dad, so it seems like in the winter version we'll need to step up and maybe take care of Suzuki and the baby if they actually show up in the game, though that part still isn't confirmed. What is confirmed though is job control. Back in 2022, Topless shared a screenshot from the game that showed a punch clock, so we know there's a real work system. And it's not just for show, because if you skip work or slack off you can actually get fired. At the same time, you won't be able to work non-stop either, so the job system will have its limits. Now let me tell you about the car you'll actually have to build. In My Summer Car, it was the Satsuma, and all the parts you needed to put it together were waiting right there in the garage at your house when you started the game. In My Winter Car, it's not gonna be that simple. This time it's gonna be way tougher. There won't be any ready parts sitting in your garage. Instead, every single piece you need, even the car's body itself, will take some creativity, some cash, and a lot of time to track down. You'll have to gather parts from different places, so it's not like you just go to one shop or order from a catalog and have everything delivered to you in one go. It's gonna feel more like a real grind where you'll need to hustle to get each piece and slowly put your ride together. The car you'll be building in My Winter Car is called the Chorus Rivet. The dev already dropped a screenshot showing it off, and from what you can see, the body panels all have different colors. That pretty much hints that every part will come from a different place or supplier, so your ride won't look uniform right away. Now let's get into the specs. It looks like you'll have the choice between a 3-speed automatic or a manual with either 4 or 5 gears. Under the hood it'll pack a 2-liter engine pushing out 99 horsepower and 155 torque, and it's rear-wheel drive. That setup means the car's gonna feel tricky to handle early on, especially since winter roads will be super slippery, so getting used to it will take some effort. And because it's winter, the car will also come with a blower to keep you warm, which matters a lot since body temperature is confirmed to be an important survival mechanic in this game. You're probably asking yourself what happened to the parents, right? Like, did they ever come back? It's been for years since we found that note on the fridge in My Summer Car, but the answer is still no. What we don't know yet is how that storyline's gonna play out in My Winter Car. There's a bunch of theories, though. Maybe they got caught in a snowstorm trying to come back, or maybe they just started a new life somewhere else. Since our character now has to look after the kid, it looks like we've already taken over the house. For now, this is all just rumors and speculation, but what's clear is that the parents won't be showing up in this game. Maybe they'll come back in another sequel like my spring car or my autumn car, but that's just something we'll have to wait and see. About temperature and sweating, if you played my summer car with the latest expanded winter feature mod, you've probably seen how it works. In that update, the mod's creator added a sweating mechanic, most likely inspired by what Topless teased for my winter car. Buzzorkinamital tried to make it as close as possible to what we might see in the official game. Basically, if your character gets too hot, they'll start sweating, and if you walk outside into the freezing cold while sweaty, you can actually get sick. In my winter car, we're also getting a brand new shop system, kind of like a marketplace where players can put up their own items for sale and also buy stuff from others. That includes parts for the rivet, the car you'll be building. If you want to sell something at the flea market, which is what it's gonna be called, you'll need to pay rent for your spot, basically covering the cost of your sales table. And don't worry, Timo isn't going anywhere. He'll still be around with his shop in my winter car. If you remember the last update of my summer car, we got things like downhill sliders, seat cushions, or whatever you want to call them, and it seems like items like that might actually be useful again in the winter version. Topless mentioned that he wants to make save files from my summer car work with my winter car. That means choices and progress you made in the first game could carry over into the second one. This could include story elements like Suski or even items you bought from the catalog. The only thing that won't transfer is money, but honestly I'm sure people will come up with mods or cheats to mess with their cash balance in my winter car anyway. Just imagine how cool it would be if we could still have the Satsuma exactly the way we left it in my summer car. It could even show up as a wreck that you could sell for some extra cash to buy the body or parts for the rivet you'll be building. Winter in my winter car is all about staying warm, not just for yourself but for the other residents too, so that fireplace will be burning day and night. The good news is that collecting firewood won't be as much of a grind as it was in my summer car. The dev actually showed that we'll get to use a special machine to cut firewood, and it even moves the wood onto a tractor-trailer automatically with conveyor belts. And it looks like we won't be dealing with tiny logs anymore. We'll be cutting down full trees instead, at least that's what it seems like from what's been revealed. The big question, though, is, after your main job, will you have enough time to get all that wood to the other residents around town? Now let's talk about the cars you'll actually see in the My Winter Car sequel. There are some changes, some vehicles are gone, some are sticking around, and there are a few new additions. Besides the Sorbet and the Chorus Rivet, you'll still be able to drive the Gifu, although it might look a bit different from the septic tanker version. The Kekmit and its trailer will be back, and the Janas will still be in the game. Sadly, or maybe luckily, the Satsuma won't be available this time, and the Heio Psycho will just be a static vehicle. But don't worry, there's a new ride called the Hepa to take its place, which is based on the Polish FS01 to 5P pickup. For some context, Polish players had previously misidentified the Fitten as a Fiat 1 to 6P, but it was actually a Fiat 133 or Seat 133. The Ferndale will also be a static vehicle, which is probably a relief, because can you imagine trying to handle that rear-wheel drive car on icy winter roads if most players already struggled with it in the summer? And finally, in my winter car, we'll be saying goodbye to Rusko. My winter car is also getting a brand new race, and this one takes place on a frozen lake. There's a special track with hangars and probably a service area in the middle, so you can do quick repairs if your car breaks down while racing. Races will happen every 2 weeks, which means the classic dirt track from the city to the strawberry fields and back will also run every 2 weeks, but the events won't overlap. So if there's a lake race one week, there won't be a city race, and the other way around. Honestly, I think racing on snow and ice is gonna be way trickier than any of the races we had in my summer car, so get ready for a real challenge. In the screenshot, you can also spot the vehicle that'll probably be ours for these lake races. Even in earlier screenshots Topless Gun shared, it was clear that these aren't gonna be normal races with standard cars. Instead, we're looking at modified vehicles that won't take damage from collisions, especially cars that wouldn't normally be allowed on the road. I'm really curious whether this car will be another project we can fully tune and customize ourselves, or if it'll come pre-built so we can just hop in and race. What do you think it will be? It looks like in my winter car we won't have cops randomly patrolling the roads for speed checks anymore, but there will be speed cameras that automatically record how fast you're driving. The tickets will either arrive by mail or just show up on your kitchen table, kind of like the fines you didn't pick up from the police before. In my summer car, the police weren't always on the roads, but now, no matter the time of day or night, or what day of the week it is, you'll need to watch your speed. Does that mean there won't be any police at all? I think they'll still be around, but the speed cameras will be in totally different spots than the cops. I mean, what kind of game would it be if there was no way to dodge the police, especially since they're not great at chases? Still, I'm hoping that in this version, the police will be more serious and actually follow us all the way to our house, not just drive around the asphalt roads in the city. Let's be honest, the chases in my summer car were kind of a joke. It's obvious that you can't play football in the winter, so in my winter car the city field will be turned into an ice hockey arena. Maybe we'll actually be able to play as one of the players, or compete against others instead of just watching, but there's not much info on that yet. What's clear is that it won't just be for decoration. I'd guess the minimum requirement will be to people going head-to-head, kind of like how they did it on the city field before. Honestly, it'd be awesome to have some sport to actually play in my winter car. I would have loved to kick a ball around in my summer car, even if it was just a multiplayer mod. If the game is set up so that players chase the hockey puck like kids chasing a football in my summer car, then maybe with a mod we could actually interact with objects in the game that we normally can't pick up, which would make it super fun to play. Speaking of mods, we can definitely expect them for my winter car. I think a mod loader will probably drop within the first few days after release. Since the game runs on the same Unity engine as my summer car, a lot of the coding works the same way. It'll probably take a few days before the first mods show up, or for old mods to be adapted for my winter car. I'm not talking about huge stuff like completely new cars, but smaller things like a cheat box could appear really quickly once the game is out. So, what kind of mods would you like to see in my winter car? That's about it for now, and I hope you made it all the way through. I'd love it if you left a comment telling me what you think. Are you hyped for a full winter game, or do you feel like my winter car is just going to be a rehash of the same map? If you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate a like and a subscription, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. I would be very happy if you would become one of the subscribers of this channel. Check out the suggested videos and also leave a like under this video. See you soon.